Then Shri Simha is also saying something important. He's quoting some Dzogchen teaching. He is not naming this teaching. He's quoting some Lung, some essential teaching. And he says, the enlightened ones of the three times arose relying on the master. Therefore also the enlightened ones of all kalpas know that the master is a friend. Do not worship the enlightened one, worship the master. If you worship the enlightened one, you will accomplish duality. If you worship the master, you understand the true nature of reality. Therefore, keep the master in your heart. Yeah. So here it says worship, but idea of worship is can be very dualistic. That we expect to receive something which we do not have, some object. We want to receive it from the enlightened being, so we worship Buddha. Yeah, we worship in a dualistic way. Why would we put offerings to the statue of Buddha? Yeah, because of this, of dualistic worshipping. Yeah. And in this way, we only develop dualistic attitude. Maybe we have some good karma. We create some good karma with this devotion. But at the same time, we are solidifying our dualistic attitude to the teacher, to the teaching. Yeah? And this is the idea. And I always say that I consider one of the biggest problems of Vajrayana Buddhism, at least in the West, I don't know how it is really in Tibet, but in the West, that people say, and language conditions our thoughts. It expresses our thoughts, but also conditions our thoughts. So I'm saying that instead of learning, we are receiving. So there is an idea to receive something, to receive the teaching. The teacher is giving the teaching and we are receiving. But it is not the correct idea. Yeah, okay, we received. What's then? How many retreats we attended where a teacher would give an initiation or some explanation? We have an idea of receiving, but there should be an idea of learning. So we learn from the master. We do not receive anything from the master, but we are learning from the master. Yeah? And then worshipping means that we value it, we appreciate it. Instead of having an idea, oh, I will go to some teacher and I will receive something, the principle is, but what I'm going to learn from this teacher. This is an important thing. And I'm sure that many people, after attending some kind of teaching, some kind of initiation, for example, and then you would ask them, but what did you receive? Oh, I received initiation of such and such deity. Okay, but what did you learn? And then, Houston, we have a problem, no? It's an embarrassing question to ask. Yeah, even we ask ourselves after some retreat, what did we learn? Yeah? Because what we received, it's easy to explain. We received such and such teaching. Yeah. But what did we learn? This is the issue. And when we really learn something, we appreciate it, and we are grateful to someone we learned from. This is the meaning, in my understanding, the meaning of worshipping the teacher, not worshipping the Buddha. Yeah? Because from the Buddha is somewhere there. Yeah? And this is the idea. We have an idea of the Buddha, represented by a statue, by a tanka, by a book, etc. Yeah? And, once I said that present day Vajrayana Buddhism is, or even not Vajrayana but Tibetan Buddhism in general, is pretty much we could compare to the situation of physics, that instead of learning the principles, like for example of relativity or whatever, I give relativity because it's Einstein, the most famous physicist. So instead of studying and learning and doing the math and doing calculations and trying to deduce formulas, instead of that we would put the book by Einstein on the altar, put a photo of Einstein and worship it. Yeah. So something like this, we put a book, a statue, image, and worship it instead of learning. And we can have an idea that just being present and we are receiving something. Yeah, something we receive. Like we can feel some presence. Yeah, when we are meeting an authentic teacher, we can feel. But the point is what we learn. Yeah, ultimately, this is the point. What we learn, what kind of skills and wisdoms, yeah, we acquired through this. Not just impressions. We can have impressions. Yeah, we can have many impressions because teachers they have huge personalities. They're very impressive, so we can be impressed in both positive and negative way. No? But impression is not the knowledge. So Chogyal Namkhai Norbu would say about this, he would say that we can feel the vibration. Okay, what's then? So the issue is what we learn. So the teacher is someone who is teaching us, and it is not a position. It means that we learn from him. If he didn't learn anything from the teacher, he is not the teacher for us. He's not a teacher. Yeah? Not because he does not have or she does not have a capacity to be a teacher. He or she might have a capacity, a huge capacity to be a teacher, but we do not have a capacity of learning, and then we are not students. We are devotees, we are worshippers, we are followers. Yeah? We are adepts, or whatever word we use, but this is not a student. Student is someone who learns. Yeah? This is the point. Student is someone who learns. If you don't learn, this is not our teacher, because what we learned. Yeah. So this is the point that Shri Simha is making. And I'm trying to clarify it based on my understanding, my knowledge, and my experience. Yeah.